Hey guys, today we're going to be doing Silent Night, another Christmas classic, but this one's kind of like a different jazzy version of it. And it's kind of dissonant as well, so it's kind of like not sounding happy, I guess you could say, or resolved until the end, but it does all work out when you put all the chords together. So anyway, I'm going to run through it first, as usual, and then I'll break it down after. But this one's, just to warn you, a bit more difficult than most of them that I teach, but I will break it down for you and give you all the notes and everything, so nothing to worry about. Here we go. Okay, so that's just a kind of overview of it, what it sounds like, and some of the chords on their own sound weird. That doesn't sound like a very settled chord, so, but when you put it with, it kind of resolves to that, but I don't know, that's just something to look out for. So there's three main parts. The is just kind of the Silent Night part, so I'll break that down first and teach it to you. So it just repeats a bunch of times, 3 or 4 times. So basically, in the right hand, you're just doing a D, E, G. Okay? And I do that with 1, 2, and 3, because then I'm hitting A and G with 4 and 3. But I mean, do whatever is comfortable. Might be easier with that. Okay, so D, E, G, and then A, G, and then jump down to B, C, and E. And then walk up like this. So when you hit the D, E, G, the transition to the next chord is the A, G. So then A, G. And when you hit the B, C, E, the transition is just hitting B, C, E, walking back up, and then walking down. Walk back up. Okay? So you play that 4 times. So 2 each. And then, you know what, I'm going to give you the left hand on that first part first so that you can get that down. So when you hit the D and the E, D, E, and G. Okay, when you hit the D, E, and G, you're going to be hitting a B and a G in the left hand. So B, natural, and a G. Okay, and it's supposed to sound like that. So B and G. Okay, and then nothing with the transition there. And then when you hit the B, C, E, you're hitting an A and an E. And that happens twice on each chord, you know, so. Okay, and then the next part, so just keep practicing that, but then the next part is this. Okay, so in the right hand it's F, A, D, and then you hit the D by itself at the top there. Okay, then that's a D, F, A flat, and B. Okay, so again, F, A, D, just D, D, F, A flat, B. Okay? Then the next chord is on E, G, A, and C. E, G, A, C. Okay? And you hit that twice. And then jump down to the same hand position of that 2 thing. So if you phrase it, it can go like that. B, D, E, and G. Okay? That's that whole part in the right hand. So F, A, D. Together. Okay, ready? F, A, D. D by itself. D, F, A flat, and B. And then up to E, G, A, C. And then B, D, E, G. Okay? And with the left hand in there, it goes like this. Okay, so what that is when you hit the F, A, D at the beginning, it's A and D in the left hand. Okay, just a 5th there. And what I do is I hit an A flat and then an F, and then walk down without hitting anything else again, just the A flat and F together, and then after that just with your thumb the E and the D. And then do F, C, F, and then walk up, cross over with your second finger to the G, and then with your thumb hit the A there when you hit the second time with this chord. So when you hit the A there, you're hitting this chord as well, okay? And then I decided just to do a C, E, G under the B, D, E, and G, because it kind of works with how you're, it settles there sort of, you know? So, again, just to play through that. Okay, so that's that section. Pretty straightforward. The next one is, and I'm seeing that I lied to you, there's 4 sections, not 3, so be prepared for that. But this next section is and this one repeats twice, this section. So starts with a C, E, A. Okay. And then you hit the A again. Okay. And you can hit the A the second time with your third finger if you'd like, because you're going to be walking down up there. So C, E, and A. And then you hit A again. And then E and C, D and B, and then C and A. So you're just walking. Okay, and then you continue one down, but then you also add this, the D, for the. Okay. Okay, and then after that, it's A, G. For the melody line there. And then there's this kind of weird chord, but it fits with the chord progression. It's actually like replacing a chord with another chord from that scale that works. So it's it does. Even though it sounds kind of weird, it does work. So anyway, this part right here is going to be, and then starts with a G, B, and E. It's really whatever you'd like. You can do the C. I think technically it should be G, B, and E. Okay, and then you go back through it. And that chord right there is just a G, B flat, and E, and it changes to that to go back. Okay. So now I'll add in the left hand on that if you're ready for it. C, E, and A goes with an F. Walk up again as we did. So F, C, F, G, A. Cross with the second, and then bring your thumb up. And hit that twice. Again, you're hitting this when you hit the A there. And with that, you're just walking down from the F and the A to the E and the G to the D and the F. Okay, so that's... I like to walk down like different ways, so like F, A, but it's all using those thirds there. So just know that it's F and A, E and G, and D and F. Okay? And then the next chord that you hit from there is that, and I do an E, B, E, G, B. Because unlike the F chord, where you can go just with the G and the A, the second and third there, that's the wrong note. So you'd have to do that, and it's easier just to do G and B. So E, B, E, G, B, if you want. Or you can just, if you can't do that kind of stuff, just do an E, B, and E. Okay? Even simplified, if your hand isn't that big, I always try to like come up with little things people can do if it's not like able to be reached this. So it's just E and B. You can always just play the bottom two. So like of the F, where would it be? Yeah, it'd be here. So you can just do an F and a C instead of doing F, C, F, G, A. Yeah, in that position as well. Just so that you all know. But anyway, this one is for the E, and if you can't do it, do the E, B, E, G, and B. And when you hit the G, you're going to be hitting the A here, and then when you hit the B, you're going to be hitting the G here. And that right there is just an A, E, A. And what I'm doing is hitting the chord, and then I hit the G to transition into this chord, which is just an D flat in the left hand, and then the G, B flat, and E here. Okay? Then you go back into it. And then the next part, and the last part is this. So, okay, so it starts with F, A, D, and you hit it twice, and then jumps to an A flat, C, D, and F. So F, A, D, A flat, C, D, and F, and then just D by itself. Then you jump down to D, A, B, A flat, and B. So again. Okay, D, D, A flat, and B. And then I don't know. I'd been jumping to a C, G, and C, but what I have written down is C, A, C. So I guess that fits with the A chord underneath better. So go to from when you do the D and to the D, A flat and B, go to C, A, and C. Okay, C, A, and C. Alright? So again, that measure is this. Okay? And then the next measure is E, A flat, and E. Actually, that's how that measure ends. Yeah, sorry. So it goes, okay. Oh wow, sorry. So that's an E, A flat, and E, and that ends that phrase there. So it's. I keep jumping to the C there. So I guess if you want to, no one's gonna really notice. For me, playing the fifth of a chord is much more comfortable and normal than playing the sixth, so I'm used to that hand position. So whatever you want to do on that last one, it's the C, A, C, G, C, or C, A, C, whatever you want. So then the E, A flat, and E. Okay, and then I'll run through the left hand of that part with you so you don't get too confused jumping into the next part. So this is an D. Again, I'm doing D, A, D, F, A. And then I come up to this, which is a B flat, D, and F with the A flat, C, D, F. And then hit the D by itself. There we go. And then D, A flat, and B with an E under it. Okay, just a plain E. And then the C, A, and C, or the C, G, C, whatever you choose on that hand. And then you hit that twice with the A chord. So A, E, A, B, C. And then you go up to this kind of weird chord here, but it does fit. So it's D, A flat, and C. And then in the right hand, it's the E, A flat, and E. And in this transition to the last part of the song, you can do and resolve with, or move towards the resolve with the B here, or do in the right hand. So whichever you choose there. But so the next part is this. Pretty easy part, I'd say. This is one of the easier ones. It's C, G, C, D, E, G, and C. And if you can't do all these like this long kind of reach here with the, you know, second and third, fifth and whatever, seventh, you can just do E, G, and C in the right hand. Okay, but either way, it goes the chord and then G, E, and then it's an F, A, F, C, F, excuse me, and then A flat, C, D, and G. Then it's F and D. And then I go back, repeat it again, and again, last time, you do it 3 times total. And that's just where I do a C, B to the ending. And you just end it on a C chord, so I ended it on, you can just walk up that, C, G, C, D, E, G, C. So again, the ending is that's the whole thing. There's just those 4 parts. I know there were a lot of notes thrown out in there, and there's a lot of weird chords that really sound weird, but I don't know. It's kind of a nice version of it, and it's nice to be able to play like anyone can take out, you know, the music of like very basic Silent Night and learn it, or just play like a very basic version. But it's kind of fun to, you know, have a more sophisticated version. It sounds a bit, I don't know, better, I think. And everyone knows the other one, so why keep playing it, you know? Anyway, if you have any questions on this, just let me know, and I'll get back to you if I can. And yeah, thanks for watching. Happy holidays.